For years I've waged wars, relentless battles that have consumed the greater part of my energy, draining me to the core. Countless years squandered in confrontations where withdrawal would have been not only more prudent, but quite frankly, a far wiser and more intelligent move. The relentless clock of life ticks on, a stark reminder that precious nights are slipping away, days vanishing into the ether, all while an insistent inner voice screams, "Escape." I've watched people, dear companions, fall away, their departure echoing the same urgent plea, "Escape." Yet, through it all, I've persistently perceived myself as fighting noble battles, my resolve unwavering. My back is broken, only God knows the true toll, and the world has walked all over me, trampling my spirit repeatedly. Still, I've remained defiant, my fists clenched, stubbornly proclaiming, "I am right." This steadfast refusal to acknowledge a losing battle, this unwavering commitment to a narrative of heroic struggle, often blinds us to the self-inflicted wounds we sustain. It transforms what could be a moment of learning into a prolonged period of self-destruction. I lay bare my chest and declare, as the proverb goes, "Let water be water." Why should I be afraid, my friend? Why does a friend look upon me with disdain because I possess a remarkably organized logic, yet a reality so perplexing, so intellectually confounding, that it torments its owner? This paradox, this sharp contrast between a meticulously structured inner world and a chaotic, punishing outer existence, is indeed a heavy burden. But true wisdom, my dear companion, dictates that it is never a fault to learn. The moment we become aware, the moment a glimmer of understanding penetrates the haze of our stubbornness, we must learn. The true failing, the profound error, lies in defying a reality that screams its undeniable truth at us, that we are fundamentally wrong. Our overarching strategy is flawed. Our approach to life's challenges is misguided. Our grip on what we believed was ours has led to its destruction. This unyielding reality, in its raw, unfiltered essence, simply reiterates a primal command: escape. It's a profound call to Ren, urging a complete break, an immediate tearing away from detrimental relationships, a decisive detachment from unfulfilling companies, a severing of toxic partnerships, and even a courageous departure from constraining countries. It demands the abandonment of soul-crushing professions, the shattering of any self-imposed constraints, and a swift evasion of every trap that ensnares the spirit. This is the truth that echoes: drop everything you hold and break free. There is no enduring benefit in continued resistance, no point in attempting to guard the sea, for its vastness makes any such effort futile. The tide of futility will simply wash over all your efforts, rendering them meaningless. Understand that escape, far from being a sign of weakness or cowardice, can be the very first step towards a journey of 1,000 miles, a profound leap forward. It might be the precursor to 2 momentous steps, unveiling a completely new path, a previously unimaginable dream, or an entirely different existence in a more logical, more congruent reality. Ren, step out before one night bleeds into another, and then another, until your entire life withers away, consumed by the very battles you insist on fighting. Break free, even if it promises only a single night of unadulterated, unburdened relief. But surely, undoubtedly, that unadulterated relief, that profound sense of liberation, will be the most honest, most authentic feeling you've experienced in years. This isn't merely about physical departure. It's a philosophical declaration, a profound statement on the art of strategic disengagement and the courage required to choose self-preservation over self-destruction. We often conflate perseverance with nobility, mistaking stubborn adherence to a failing cause for heroic resilience. But what if true heroism lies in the audacious act of letting go? What if the bravest thing one can do is to acknowledge a fundamental misalignment, to admit that the narrative of noble struggle has become a self-imposed prison? The text speaks to a universal human experience, the internal conflict between ego and intuition, between the desire to prove oneself right and the undeniable whispers of a suffering soul. It challenges the deeply ingrained societal dogma that equates staying the course, regardless of personal cost, with virtue. This philosophical examination delves into the complex interplay between our aspirations for self-improvement and the harsh realities that often dictate a different, more pragmatic approach to life's challenges. This existential plea for escape is not a call to escapism in its negative connotation, a flight from responsibility or an avoidance of legitimate challenges. Rather, it's an urgent invitation to a strategic retreat, a conscious, deliberate recalibration of one's life compass. It's an acknowledgement that some battles are unwinnable, not because of a lack of effort or inherent weakness, but because the very premise of the engagement is flawed, the ground on which it is fought is shifting, or the price is simply not worth the escalating cost. This wisdom dictates that recognizing a lost cause or a detrimental environment is not a failure of character, but a profound act of self-awareness and self-respect. It's about preserving one's vital energy, mental faculties, and emotional well-being for battles that genuinely matter, for dreams that truly resonate, and for a life that genuinely aligns with one's authentic self. This concept of strategic disengagement is vital for mental health, preventing burnout and fostering sustainable personal development. It's a powerful lesson in valuing your inner peace over external validation or fleeting victories, understanding that true strength often lies in the discernment to walk away. The relentless ticking of the age counter, the fading nights, the poignant departures of loved ones, these are not random occurrences, but existential alarms, clear signals from the universe urging a drastic shift. They highlight the sunk cost fallacy, the psychological trap where we continue investing in something simply because of what we've already put into it, rather than evaluating its current and future worth. Our attachment to these noble battles often stems from a fear of the unknown, a dread of starting over, or a deep-seated need for external validation. We cling to identities forged in conflict, fearing that without these struggles, we might lose who we are. But this text boldly challenges this notion, suggesting that true identity lies not in the battles we fight, but in the freedom we cultivate, the choices we make for our own flourishing. Embracing this perspective can lead to profound self-discovery and a more intentional way of living, shedding the shackles of past decisions and societal expectations to embrace a future built on genuine purpose and inner peace.
The insistence on being right, even when faced with overwhelming evidence to the contrary, is a potent form of cognitive dissonance, a psychological discomfort arising from holding conflicting beliefs or attitudes. This internal friction, this stubborn defiance of reality, is not only exhausting, but also profoundly detrimental to one's mental and emotional health. The wisdom embedded in this passage implores us to confront this dissonance, to listen to the screaming reality that manifests in various forms: chronic stress, anxiety, depression, physical ailments, failed endeavors, and a pervasive sense of unfulfillment. These are not mere inconveniences. They are existential warnings, urgent messages from our inner selves and the external world that our current trajectory is unsustainable. Acknowledging this internal conflict is the first step towards resolving it and achieving greater psychological congruence, paving the way for healing and growth. To let water be water is to embrace a form of philosophical pragmatism, a radical acceptance of what is, rather than a desperate attempt to force what isn't. It's about understanding the limits of our control and recognizing when continued struggle is not an act of strength, but an exercise in futility. The friend's observation, possessing a remarkably organized logic yet a bewildering, punishing reality, perfectly encapsulates the modern dilemma. Our minds crave order and control, but life often presents chaos and challenges that defy our neat categorizations. This disparity can be a source of immense suffering. The text suggests that the path to alleviate this suffering is not to force reality into submission, but to adjust our own framework, to learn, and to adapt. This adaptive mindset is crucial for resilience and navigating the complexities of modern existence, fostering a greater sense of peace and acceptance by aligning our internal logic with the undeniable truths of our external world. The promise that escape can be a step, followed by 2 steps, a new path, a worthier dream, a more logical life, is the crux of this profound message. It reframes escape not as an ending, but as a potent beginning. It's an invitation to envision a future where choices are aligned with inner truth, where energy is directed towards constructive pursuits, and where life is lived with a greater sense of purpose and authenticity. The urgency of Ran, get out before night brings night upon night upon night and life is wasted, is a powerful reminder of our finite existence and the irreversible passage of time. It's a call to immediate, decisive action, an encouragement to seize the moment of awareness and transform it into a moment of liberation. Even if the immediate outcome is merely a night of clear, unequivocal relief, that alone is a testament to the profound power of choosing oneself, of valuing one's inner peace above all else. This philosophical stance champions the courage to disengage, to unburden oneself from the illusions of noble struggle, and to step into a reality where true growth and genuine happiness can finally take root. It's a manifesto for self-preservation as the ultimate form of wisdom, a powerful argument for radical self-care in a world that often glorifies relentless, self-sacrificing endurance. This ethos provides not just survival, but a pathway to thrive, aligning one's actions with an authentic desire for profound, lasting well-being and a life lived with integrity and true purpose. It urges us to critically examine our commitments and to possess the discernment to distinguish between genuine challenges that foster growth and self-destructive engagements that only lead to exhaustion and despair. The courage to make such distinctions and act upon them is a hallmark of true wisdom and self-mastery in a complex world.